real world is different from a game world, and there's also real dangers there. I mean, people can get run over by cars, they can fall off piers, that kind of thing, if they're not paying attention, if they're paying attention to your game rather than to the real world. So it's kind of a balancing act there. But I think overall speaking, it is really good to get people off their couches and out into the real world, and also interact with each other. That's one of the things they found with games like Pokemon Go, and the same studio made an earlier game called Ingress. They found that people socialize a lot when they play these games. So people come together and they can see, oh, here's another person playing this game, and then they can start talking, and suddenly it becomes a social event. She's an American-based, US-based virtual reality creator, I guess, really, and she's a documentary. She makes documentaries, and the way she does it is that she takes recordings of things that really happen. So it's a real-world soundtrack that you're hearing, and then she recreates the scene of that happening in a game engine, essentially. So it doesn't look completely photorealistic, but you know that the sound is real. And she has some examples. One of those that she's received a lot of fantastic critique on is a recording of a woman walking outside a Planned Parenthood clinic, and she's walking that picket line of protesters, of the pro-life protesters. And they're shouting a lot of abuse at her and so on. And it's very hard for someone, especially like a man like myself, it's very hard to understand that experience. But with an experience like Nani de la Peña's, where she essentially recreates that scene, so you put on the headset, virtual reality headset, and you essentially walk that picket line in the same way that the women did. What you're seeing is virtual reality, sort of slightly cartoonish representation of the characters, but you're seeing them shout the abuse at her, and you know that the sound is real, and it's very immersive. And when you turn your head, you see something else, but the sound is corrected to sound like where it's coming from them.
Right.
And the people who try this, they feel a really strong emotional response. It's like they said, "Oh, I never realized that was how it felt." And that is very powerful, and I think it shows how one of the interesting potentials of virtual reality, that it really brings people into the experience. It gives them that so that it can create that empathy when it's used well. And she has many more examples of things. It's very I think really important work that she's doing.
Yeah, definitely. It's just like highly commended in terms of like that industry, but not even just. She has I suppose transcended that film boundary as well, and kind of made it more immersive. Because one of the difficult things, especially if you don't have something in common with someone, is to be able to put yourself in their shoes